A few years ago, my neighbor asked me if I would compile her mother's recipes into a small cookbook so she could give them as gifts. I knew Gabriella's mother was a fantastic cook, so I jumped on that opportunity. And today, I'm going to show you how to make Gisela Varga's take on Hungarian beef stroganoff. Let's get started. One of the things I loved about Gisela's style of cooking was how she simplified complicated recipes, and beef stroganoff is just one of her examples. Typically, stroganoff is expensive, time-consuming, and requires a lot of culinary skill. Move over, typical. Today, we're making everyday delicious. In a really big, wide-bottom skillet, I've melted a half a stick of butter and I put 3 pounds of the leanest ground beef I can find into it. And with the side of my spoon, I've kind of broken it up into little pieces. I'm going to add a pound of sliced white button mushroom caps. Love mushrooms. A pound of sliced carrots. And a pound of diced onion. These are classic stroganoff ingredients. I'm going to season these with some garlic powder, some thyme leaves, some salt, and some black pepper. And I'm just going to stir all of this around. And it's going to take me a minute or two to really stir this really good. And now I'm just going to turn on the heat and I'm going to bring this to a simmer and I'm going to let it cook until the beef is just steamed through and the carrots are tender. It's going to take about 30 or 45 minutes. This has been about 40 minutes and it's perfectly cooked. It's simmering, the beef is cooked through, the carrots are tender. I'm going to add 4 cups of beef stock to this, which is one 32-ounce box, unless you want to use homemade beef stock, and that would be just wonderful too. Let's get all this in. And now I'm going to add 4 tablespoons of kitchen bouquet. What is kitchen bouquet? Well, it's a gluten-free, vegetable-based seasoning that was a staple in 50s era kitchens. My mother depended on it, my grandmother depended on it, and I kind of like it too. So we're going to add 4 tablespoons. 1, 2, 2, 3, 3, 4, 4. That's 4 tablespoons. I'm going to stir this around and wait for it to come to a simmer. And when it simmers, I'm going to let it cook for 2 to 3 minutes. My mixture's back to a really nice steady simmer. And in a measuring container, I've put a half a cup of water and 4 tablespoons of cornstarch, which is going to thicken this mixture up. So I've stirred that together, and I'm just going to add this to all that beef and stock. I'm going to give it a good stir, and now I'm going to cook this for 3 or 4 minutes until it starts to thicken up. We've got a great simmer going on here, and the cornstarch is working its magic. It's thickened up all of that wonderful stock to an almost saucy gravy-like consistency. I'm going to add a 12-ounce bag of wide egg noodles, and I'm going to stir these in. We want to get them all completely coated in the sauce and the broth. And now I'm going to turn the temperature down to low. I want to get a really, really gentle simmer going on here. And I'm going to cover this pan and I'm going to let this cook for 10 to 12 minutes until those noodles are perfectly cooked. Oh, wow, does that smell delicious. I'm just going to give this one more stir. Oh, my noodles are perfectly cooked. And now, classic beef stroganoff. I'm going to turn off the heat. And I'm going to stir in 1 cup of sour cream. stirred in, thoroughly incorporated. Oh, this smells wonderful. A couple more big stirs here. Now I'm just going to recover this, let this sit for about 5 minutes, and it's time to eat. To this day, some of Gisella's recipes are some of my favorites, and this one is everything a stroganoff should be. Beef cooked in a flavorful, creamy sauce with perfectly cooked egg noodles. For these and all of my recipes, just go to my website.